long time, or
It's been a long time.
Long time.
I'm dying to fight my hometown so all my friends and family can come watch.
October 8th?
You fought on Jim Boucher's show one time, right? Over in
Illinois?
Belleville?
Yeah, like
That was
kickboxing.
a
That was
year and a half ago.
Right, there was a
It's been
kickboxing
while.
or something like that.
kickboxing
That's,
match,
you
yeah.
were just getting started with that.
Well, listen, we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll finish up with the Right Fight Pro events, and then talk about the UFC.
Very good.
All righty, Ashley, thank you. We'll
Thank
be
you.
back in just a minute.
It's the only thing that slowly stops the ache. But it's made of all the things I have to take.
Okay, we're back on Sport Fighting League Report. I forgot where I was for a minute. That'll be okay.
No more drinking before the show.
That's the problem. We haven't started. Maybe we need to. That was cool, though. Ashley was a good guest.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
Yeah.
really exciting to have the number one ranked female here.
Yes.
MMA 115-pounder.
Well, just to be recognized that, how many fighters are there in the world?
Oh, ton of fighters. Thousands.
they had to hear about her, and she had to stand out of all the other people.
Well, she's fighting
And-
in places like Las Vegas where you're going to get, the best
You're going to get
fighters
some
are gonna
attention.
gather.
So she did it right. She got lucky. She got the people that had a chance to see her, and they liked what they saw. So
Yeah.
that's number one.
Yep. We're going to remember one day that I guess seems so odd not to talk to each other and make eye contact, and I guess we're supposed to look this way when we're talking to each other.
Oh,
it just
come on,
seems
that's
so
not
odd.
fun. It's something personal when we do that.
So enjoy the side of our head, because we're still going to look at each other when we talk, probably.
All right, let's talk about the pro fights at Right Fight 3.
Now, I don't think anything could compare with Right Fight 2's pro fights, to be honest with you. It was going to be very
It's the
tough.
best fight night I've ever seen, so.
Me too, but this
Today.
was a good fight. We had a couple debuting fights, first fights, and then a couple fights where it was our second one. So for a greener pro card, I was very happy for how it came out. Really good event.
I think you had somebody on this pro that you might see in the UFC one day maybe a couple of these guys, but Jason Bausler, man, that guy was really impressive for a heavyweight. Jay, did you get to watch that one?
Oh yeah, I've seen him fight before.
That guy, what do you think? I mean, he moves pretty fast for a guy
He
that
moves
size.
big time, moves good.
Yeah, and it's, a lot of technique involved, kind of too much banging. He's got to learn,
I think he learned last.
He's got some stuff left to learn as far as,
He might have learned last weekend in Kentucky
Uh-oh.
because he lost a decision.
Okay,
Oh.
a decision.
I don't know who it was yet. I did know, but I don't have it now. But yeah, he went and jumped right back on the.
Yeah, that's a pretty fast fight. Let's see, that would be 1 week. What were we just saying?
Well,
And what happened?
Yeah.
He got out wrestled and he got controlled. From what
Did
I
he
heard,
really?
he said he learned a lot. But
Well, you
know?
can't recover in 1 week from a fight like he went through. He had a tough opponent in your pro fights. His late
Yeah,
fight.
exactly. And, you know, it's the training that, you know, you got to have that cycle and recovery time. Jay, you would know as good as anyone, but I think plan things out, guys. I tell these guys, you know what? There's,
I don't know if it was that or was maybe the guy was a better fighter.
maybe.
Sure.
I mean,
You never know. I mean, because Jason looked like he was in great shape after the fight with Will Crockett, but Will Crockett was a lot stronger, I think, than Jason expected him to be.
well, I mean, these guys train hours a day, and they can go and they roll for hours, and they fight round after round. Then
They
they go in
should.
here for just a couple rounds.
Well, we assume they do.
Right. Yeah, if
We
they're in
assume they
shape
do.
and if they're working the way they should and everybody else is,
Right.
the fight itself, unless they get injured, they could fight once a week.
Yeah, I guess you could, but, you know, there's.
But we're talking about they need to get trained and look what you did wrong in this
If you
one.
fight once
What
a-
did you do right in that one? Analyze it and then fix it. Take a week or two, and that's what you're talking
Right.
about.
And
That's
also,
the way
you're
it
not
should
gonna
be.
be
If you just
optimal
repeat what you did the
potentially
last
physically.
one, more fights aren't going to help you.
Right.
You're saying this, and that's what we're both all.
Yeah, I think what'll happen is ultimately is you see it in the amateurs. The guys that go and fight, short notice, drop of a hat, take a fight out of their weight division, whatever it is, they take those short fights. They end up with a record of 11-17 or 17-11 as an amateur, and you see the same thing on the pro circuit. Those
Right.
guys
Again,
that do
that's
that,
okay as an amateur.
but they get into that right. You get into that habit.
But
Somebody
they
called
just
me.
like to fight. They're not
Right.
necessarily trying to.
While you're an amateur, that's the time to do it, not when you turn pro.
Right.
All right. About 2 months ago, somebody called me and said, I want to go professional. And first thing I told them was, I said, go get a job, because they didn't have a job right now. I said, go get a job, because you're going to make about $4,000 this whole year, maybe, if you're lucky. And I said,
That'd be a good year.
Yeah,
that'd be,
a great year
if
at
you're
this
lucky,
point
we're
for a new
saying,
pro.
but you'll spend every bit of that on your training. Okay.
Absolutely.
And I also said, what's going to happen if
Gas.
you don't have a job? You will take a short notice fight that you don't need to take against the wrong guy, and you'll get beat, and you won't even get the show money, and and it happens. So there's good quality trainers and camps out there. You don't have to have a manager if you're not good enough to be into that situation. You don't have that kind of pedigree. Use a legitimate training camp and school that is going that way. That people ask me all the time, who should I go train with? How about somebody who's already walked through this field, through this minefield? It's pretty simple. It doesn't have to be. I won't tell you which one. I'll tell you about 4 of them that around here that have been successful and have professional fighters and high-level amateurs, and for a long period of time. And that's one of the places you should go, probably. It's easy, but these guys want to do the stubborn thing. You see it often. I'm taking too long here, but the first fight of the night was Misha Lowe and Lori Donovan.
There was 2 girls fighting.
Yep.
There was 2 girls fighting. That's right, and it was a good one.
It was Lori's pro debut, and it was Misha's second fight. I believe Misha was 0-1 going into the fight,
Yep.
but it was a very close fight. It was a good fight. I think it ended in the third round. It was stopped in the third round.
Stopped right before the bell.
Yeah.
Yep.
There was like less than a minute left, and they stopped the fight.
There was a lot of back and forth in that fight, but Lori
Lori definitely
pretty much
wanted to finish,
dominated.
and she got on top of her, and
Yep.
she went after her.
She showed some good control in this fight.
I think they both got a lot of work in that fight. Got a lot of. They learned. Evidently, they had fought 2 years earlier as amateurs to a split decision. So, they and are different fighters now 2 years later, but they were very good. And tough
But that
fight.
was a good fight. I worked that fight.
There you
I
go.
remember it.
Yeah.
That was a good fight. They were back and forth.
Right, and just both were very classy. Misha and her husband were and her trainer were all very nice people to bring into town and handled themselves like professionals, as all the people did on the card that came
Yes.
in, which was nice. We talked about Bosler beating Will Crockett, and when we saw Will Crockett at the weigh-ins, the guy looked like a huge, but Bosler's a big guy too, so they were both at the top of the food chain at
Bosler's real big.
265.
Yeah, they're
Both
both
big
big
guys, both were
they're
real strong.
They're real heavyweights.
Yeah, yeah.
It started out a real close match. I mean, and
It did.
Bosler, it's just to me has a never say die kind of attitude, kept coming at
Well, I
him.
think you said it earlier. You thought Bowser was surprised
Yeah,
on
that
how
guy was a
tough
lot
Will
stronger.
was, and Will kept coming.
Yeah, he
I
was a
thought
strong kid.
Yeah, he was strong, and he came in, and he was just when he thought he was going to give up. He started to beat the hell out. Start fighting back.
Yeah,
Yep.
it was an impressive fight.
It went to the very end of the first round, I know, but it was a tough fight.
Yep.
The two co-main events, we had Dangerous Dave Callow, who had fought Nick Labasco on that fight, and that was a good fight.
It was a good fight. Callow's dangerous even from the bottom, where he spent most of the fight, and he's just got to get a ground game going.
He's got to quit going down so easy.
Yeah,
Absolutely, and
He's a
you're
stand
right.
guy.
he was taking
Yeah.
He's a stand-up guy, and he
But
let
he
the guys
needs
just
to, he
take him
needs
down.
to brace the ground game a little
Oh,
bit
yeah.
more. And to Labasco's credit, I mean, he's much shorter than Callow, who's an awfully good stand-up fighter.
Right.
And I'm real impressed with Nick Labasco. He's a tough kid.
He did really well, and I think Callow did pretty good at tying Nick up though on the ground. He wasn't able
He
to.
did a real good job.
was
He did a
not
great
able to
job. He was
keep-
doing more
right.
damage from the ground at the end than Labasco was doing from the
Right,
top.
and Labasco
Yeah.
did split him open with an elbow. I know.
Early on, Labasco controlled and did everything right.
Yeah, they both got 3 good rounds. It's just, Dave's had a tough 2 fights for us here on the Sport Fighting League after being one of the top amateurs, but he's fought 2 tough kids. So, which brings us to the other one, which is Johannes Flogger and
Another exciting fight.
Yep, and Matt Chin out of Hewlett House. Johannes' second fight, Matt's first.
Well, this is another wrestler. This was a wrestler against a guy, a stand-up guy.
Yeah.
In the last one here with Dave Callow and Nick Labasco, and it showed. And then we did it again on the next one.
Yeah, it looked like Chin was controlling him with wrestling for
he was
the whole
controlling him.
first half of the round, and then
I thought
But
Johannes was in
Flogger-
big trouble.
he looked relaxed
I don't
though.
think.
Yeah.
I really didn't. Yeah, I was just
Looked
going to say
relaxed.
he was very relaxed and he was very impressive in that fight.
Who's that?
Johannes Flogger.
Johannes fought a very, very smart fight.
Very smart fight.
Actually,
He
one
knew
of the
where he
best
was
fights
the
I've
whole
seen him
time.
do.
Yeah, he's really his last amateur fight was against Zeracor, and then these 2 pro fights. Johannes looks totally different. I think he was kind of getting bored and burnt out of the amateur thing, and
Well, he was in a hurry before, and he's not in a hurry anymore. He's doing.
Right.
He's fighting a smart fight now, and his game has changed.
And actually, I just set up a match too for July for both of those guys. Nick Labasco is going to be fighting Matt Chin, and Johannes Flogger is going to be fighting Greg Wilson.
Oh wow!
Now,
Now,
that's exciting.
yeah, that's. A
I wanted
rematch.
that night. I said, Matt Chin, Nick Labasco. I want to be there.
That's a great fight.
And Greg
That-
Wilson, remember
that's
who Wilson
explosive.
is?
You're
Sure.
right.
Okay,
Now, who's Greg fighting?
Johannes.
That's a rematch.
Yeah, as amateurs
those,
they fought.
Those are wonderful,
That's when Johannes
wonderful,
knocked himself out in
wonderful.
the first fight.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And those aren't even going to be the
this will be a
headliners,
different
guys.
fight. But man, Wilson is such an exciting fight.
Johan said, "Don't bring that up again."
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so I'm excited.
I
We're
bring it
really
up every time I see
Johan,
him.
you did really good. That was an exciting fight. I was surprised. Out of nowhere, Matt was on him. Matt was controlling the fight,
Yeah.
and out of nowhere, bang, got him in that guillotine, and he had no chance. He just tapped out.
Yeah, Matt has a really good amateur record, and he needs to put his hands together a little bit more, which he's always working on. These guys always
Yeah.
have something to work on. But Matt's going to be a fine pro out of this area.
Yeah.
I have no doubt about it.
He looked strong. He looked in shape. He was ready.
Yep. Well, we're running a little long on time, so did you
Okay.
guys have
But now
any
you
other
got me
thoughts?
excited though. Nick
Just
Labasco
one's
in
right
that
night
fight.
4 or right fight.
Yeah, it's going to be. It's all going to be Sport Fighting
Big fight
League
4.
from now on, as far as but it'll basically
So
right
they're
fights.
fighting on which card?
That'll be the July card, the pro.
July
In
16th
July,
Pro
Sport Fighting
card
League?
at the Convention
Yeah.
Center.
Okay.
Yes,
St. Charles
they all
Convention
will be.
Center.
Got it.
And that'll be on.
That's a Saturday
That's
night.
a
too.
Saturday night.
That's the one we're looking for. We're gonna do 1,500 seats that night. We're gonna blow it up good. Put on a really good show over there. We'll start announcing some things. I'll give you teases here a little bit as we go, but we're gonna have a really good card. A lot of people have seen some of the fighters that are supposed to fight on it on Facebook, but we'll touch a little bit more of that.
Any girls fighting?
Not on this one. We've done good. The first 3 we had ladies on 2 of the first 3 pro cards that we did here.
I
So-
like to see the women
Yeah.
fight.
Well, we just found
I think
out
you
that
need to have one
Ashley
more
isn't
fight.
taking that trip, and we could have put her on here that she wanted to do her pro
Can you add
debut
one
on
more
us.
fight?
No, we really can't because we're just so constrained with where we're at budget wise. Yeah, we'll pass the hat. But
All right, let's talk about the UFC 130
Yeah.
then. All right, but looking forward to that next pro
it's
fight.
gonna be fun.
And the amateur fights. UFC 130 is Saturday, May 28th at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Jay, where do you want to start with this? Do you want to start before the
At the
Spike
top.
TV card?
At the top.
Oh, you want to start with the top of the main card?
Yes.
All right, we'll go there.
Because if
Jay
we run
said
out
so.
of time, we still got. Because this is
That's
a
a
good
good
fight.
point. I mean, this is a great card still, even though it's had so much fights falling off and people
Well, I
falling
mean,
off.
yeah, everybody's been falling off. Everybody's like, "Is this card worth it or not?" I think it is.
Oh yeah, because
This
the
is a
matchups
good
are
card.
really good. The matchups.
But
are
you
good.
got Quentin Jackson,